I'm going to review this Andonstar Digital Microscope. Let's see if it's any good. So Andonstar contacted me the other day and asked me if I wanted to review one of these, and I said, yeah, sure, let's take a look. It sounds like something that my viewers may be interested in. So this is for you guys. Alright, let's have a look. I haven't powered up myself yet, so here's the manual for it. Specs and stuff. Freeze frame that or something, I don't know. 32 card. 7-inch screen, runs at 5 volts. Focal distance 6 cm to 18 cm. Photo format is JPEG. Photo resolution is 1920 by 1080. Magnification is 800 times. Video format is movie or MOV, and the video outputs are Full HD at 30 frames and HD at just 720, 30 frames as well. 2 megapixel HD sensor, has a stand, remote control to play. I'll show you bits and pieces. There's all the accessories that come with it. One other person did a review on one of these actually. I saw it this morning, and they also sent one of these to another YouTuber. Stumbled across it and he seemed quite impressed by it, so I thought I'd better get on and get this review done. Freeze the pages or something, have a look. Let's have a look what we've got in here. So we've got a lead here which has got buttons on it, which is for the lights. So you've got a little micro USB right angle connector, a little DC connector there. I'm not quite sure what size it is, probably 1.8mm or something, like one of those small ones, and a standard USB plug. Power adapter, 5 volt output, 2 amps as provided. That's nice. Have a remote control, upside down, electrons fall out as they will say. Controls the unit, so you can do various functions like change the brightness and zoom levels and that sort of stuff, take pictures and movies and things like that. Haven't tried it out yet. Doesn't feel like there's any batteries in there, but that's not surprising. You have the stand, or half of the stand at least. You have to do some assembly on this. It's got this adjustable height on this. Standard system, it's got a little locking wheel on the back there. Increases tension so you can adjust the drag, make it not drop or anything. This is actually very similar to the Mustool G600, so it's very similar, but it didn't have this base piece here which bolts onto the bottom of a big stand, so we'll get to that. And here's the actual microscope. There you go, it's got warnings on the screen. What do I say? Do we care? Display on the device is very fragile. Please use with care. Do not drop, press hard or touch the display with sharp objects. Display is not waterproof. Please clean it with dry and soft material. Do not press the display when installing the battery or adjust the angle of the display. Battery? Guess that's an option. This one doesn't have batteries. So it comes with a little toolkit there, a little Allen key, a couple of cap screws, and I'm not quite sure what these bits are for. A couple of springs and bolts and some little clip things. So you can use those to hold down a circuit board when you're looking at it, so it doesn't move around. I probably won't need those, so I'll probably not put those on. And lastly, here's the actual base. We have to put the stand on this piece, the upright, have to bolt that on there. And there's the LEDs, LED lamps, so you can jangle them around and get the angles you want to get the best readability of the thing you're looking at. If you're trying to read an IC, it's really handy. So let's put this thing together. Actually, excuse the mess of my desk, I'm doing some projects at the moment. Got a couple of things on the go. Unusual for me, isn't it? It looks pretty simple to put together. Stick one in there, stick the base on there. It's nice and tight once they're both lined up and in place. I'm trying to say two different words at the same time, it's good. Right, it's both tight. Done, that's the base assembled. Not hard, is it? So you can see on the base you've got those two threaded holes, which will be what these will be for. So you can see you've got the angle clips and there you go, the bolt with the spring on it. So as you just bolt that clip, or sit the clip on the bed and bolt it down with one of these, and it gives you a sprung thing to help hold the walls down, but I don't need that, but you may find that useful. Well, let's put the rest of this in together. So we have to put this microscope piece into the stand. Now the stand's got these locking screws on here. It's just got a little rubber buffer on there. You can see that little piece on the end there. This is basically just glued on the end of a screw. So we drop that through there, and you will probably see it's got this little plastic ring on here. See that's floating around? That's what you clamp into these screws here. So drop it down like that. That sits in those screws, and it means it holds it pretty stably. It gives it a little bit of drag as well, so you can still move it around if you need to change angles, if you know, from where you're sitting or something. And this obviously tilts like this. So you haven't actually looked at the back of this thing yet, really. There's not a lot to see though. So naturally you have a QC pass sticker, because everyone needs to know it's past QC. You have a micro SD card slot. You have 3 little dots. I'm not quite sure what they are. There might be LEDs. I'm just suspicious. I mean, it could be light pipes. I'm not sure. Micro USB, as you mentioned. We've got something here. I'm not quite sure what the story is of that. Like it's a plugged section. Maybe it's a HDMI port option, which this doesn't have. And it looks like a reset button by the looks of it. That's my guess. Bit of a close look at the front here. So we've got power button, we have a button marked as M, up arrow, down arrow, OK, and what looks like a camera button. So I'm guessing you push that and it takes photos. The buttons, they're not too hard to push, they're fairly easy to push, which is good because it means you're not moving it around too much as you push it. You have a little dial here and an infrared port. So this dial, I'm guessing, will be the illumination of this head here. Other controls, PC which spins, which I believe would be the focusing. So you can spin that around and adjust the focus on the optics there. Does it bottom out? I hope it stops. Yeah, it does actually stop, but it turns quite a lot. So it's got quite a wide range on it to actually screw in and stop that way as well. Well, that's probably a few turns. So, okay, let's peel the sticker off. Take away its rigidity. Oh, wait, there's two stickers. There's another one under there. Look at that, they're trying to trick me. See, there's another one. I want to get it off. I might have to use something sharp to get the cover off. Hold on. I'm going to do exactly what I say don't do. Just get this little film off. Come on. Here we go. Right, that's better. Now, we're just about ready to turn the thing on. So I started plugging this thing in. I just tried plugging this into my computer just to see if I could actually use USB as the the video source for OBS, right? Open Broadcaster, which is the software I use for doing live streams, and you can actually do video recording with that as well, based off of various input sources. It could be HDMI cameras, USB cameras, this sort of stuff. So, well, I'll just plug it into this and just see if I can actually get a USB source come up on OBS. And unfortunately, no, this doesn't actually use any USB data connection for video output, which is a bit of a shame because there's a possibility they could have done it, but that's okay. It's one of these things. So I plug it into the base. So I better show you, shouldn't I? So that's for the connection there for the lights, just here. So the connection for the lights is right there. That's a little plug that goes in. Now, as I have a decent USB power supply on my bench here for powering things from a USB, fairly high current, I can do a few amps. I'll just plug into that rather than using the supplied adapter. I'm sure this works fine. This actually turns it on and off as well, so you can do that. Not only does it turn the lights on and off, also it turns the actual magnifier on and off. So that's a nice universal control there. It does the whole lot, which is really nice. And we've got brightness controls, which are for the LEDs, so you can turn them up and down. Holding it, does that work? No, you have to push them. So it doesn't go all the way off, it just dims it, so it doesn't actually go all the way off, it will go right up. You have to each button push. Yeah, it doesn't dim down, you have to push it each time. That's fine. Now you can actually see from display already that the viewing angle is actually really good on it. You know, tip it around, you can still see the picture on there, can't you? You can still see the image. I go right around like that. You know, it's got a really good viewing angle. So that's pretty good. You have to be looking straight on it to be able to see the image. It looks like it's a decent quality display. So that's at least good. Now what else have we got here? We've got this dial. Yep, that's the stalk LEDs just here. You can see the light on there coming up and off. That line appears on the edge of the Allen key. Right, so that's that one. It's basically got three lighting options here for how you want to change it. You know, what view you want. It's pretty good, really. Nice and flexible. Now this is currently at its maximum height, so that's the gap I've got there, which is basically just bigger than the width of my hand. And focusing is, you know, not a problem there. That is to the base at least. It's easy. So we're going to focus on the end of that Allen key, shall we? Yep, we can focus on the end of that. Really easy. Not a problem. Now the focusing feels a little bit jumpy. It's got a bit of a play in there. Maybe you can see it. Turn it very slightly with no adjustment. Let's actually get something to look at under here. Now I do actually have a module which I'm working on, part of the project. Some of you may know what this is, some of you may not. This is a LoRa module. So let's stick this under here. Let's get it focused. And already you can actually see the chip number. Let's just get this, my camera set up better so you can see this slightly better. Let's see what we can do with this lighting. So that's making it stand up a bit there. Let's try the other one. There we go, look at that. Look how clear it is to see that chip name. Very easy to see that. You know, try different lights. There you go. That shows up even better. SX1276, nice and easy. And that's something which can be a real pain to do when you're trying to work on bits of gear, trying to see what the chip numbers are, because you've got to get the angle of the light on it just right, and sometimes to get a torch and mess around with it. And so, having the actual adjustable lamps on the stand here is actually really good, as well as obviously the light here as well. You actually see this is causing all the pads to light up. See those? It's reflecting back. So sometimes actually not having that light on is a better thing to do because it will reduce the contrast a bit. So yeah, that looks alright. Let's try figuring out how to do zoom, shall we? So you've got a remote control. Let's put some batteries in it. Okay, so the remote takes AAA's, 2 of those. So let's drop those in and we'll see what the remote does. Right, remote done. Okay, let's push a big red button. You always have to push a big red button first. What does that do? Assuming nothing. Okay, let's push something else. Nothing's happening with the remote. Curious. What's going on here? Well, I'll just pull the batteries back out and test the voltages, and they're definitely not flat. They're basically brand new out of the packet, so it should be fine, but I've had them sitting around for a while. Let's put them in again. Well, maybe something else is going on. Maybe it's my lighting which is causing problems. Let's have a look. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's my lighting. It's obviously drowning out the infrared because I've got so much light here. So let me see if I can do something about that. Well, yeah, the remote does work, but it's not working very well. It's not really responding unless I like put it right up in front of it. Yeah, I think it's just because my lighting's just so bright here. So, yeah, oh. Yeah, so I think the remote control's a bit, I don't know, a bit weedy really. I've not really had issues with remote controls before with this kind of range problem. If I put it right up to front, it does actually work. Is it my lighting? Is it maybe there's a misalignment inside with the sensor? I'm guessing, I don't know. So, let's have a look what we got. First thing is video resolution. Full HD 30 frames a second currently set. Let's just try and get this around a bit so you can see the contrast slightly better. Without getting all the lights on it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So that's what you can see. It's not great contrast on here actually in this case. The fonts I've chosen with the orange highlight just doesn't work that well. Because it's got grey text with an orange highlight. It's not very high contrast, is it? Anyway, so that's there. Right, next one. Sound recording. Off. How do I change that? Here we go. Oh, no. On. Yeah, I mean, use the remote, it works, but I actually think it's not very good. I don't like the remote. Let's go back to the keyboard. Well, go to the keyboard. Okay, so yeah. Keyboard would be far easier than using a remote. I can see some benefit from it, but yeah. Exposure. White balance, if you want to set that up. Colour. Natural, vivid and pale. I guess it's, yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I think for what we're doing it doesn't matter that much. Contrast, saturation, want to make the colour a bit more. Sharpness and gamma. Okay, so that's all the other options in there. Setup. Okay, here we go. Clock settings. Set the date and time. Well, today is currently 19th of 12th. And it is the 9th, I think. So it is the 9th. I should know, it's been almost like the whole day almost gone. I've already been at work and stuff, so I should know what the time is. Right. You don't really need to see me set, it's up to you. Right, anyway, it's 5. Yeah, close enough. I just want to see if this will actually keep the time or not. That's the main reason I'm doing that. Okay, it's out of there. Right, date format. Year, month, day. What options are there? All the common ones. Month, day, year, day, month, year. Year, month, day is what I prefer myself in most cases because it's if you're doing sorting, it comes out in the right order. Watermark. Put a date on it. Off. So you can have a date stamp on the images you take. Yeah, okay. Or no date stamp. Languages: English, Espanol, Portuguese. What else we got here? Italiano and Francais, and oh, that's Japanese? Is that Korean? I don't know. I don't know these languages. I only know English. Frequency: 50 Hz or 60 Hz. That depends on your mains frequency. That'll be to avoid flicker. If I've got the main overhead light on, then I might get some flicker. Then I'd have to make sure I've got it set to correct frequency. So if you're in like the US or something like that, you'd want 60 Hz to match your mains frequency. For me, it's 50 Hz, so that's fine. What else we got here? Format SD card. I don't have an SD card in it right now, so I can't do that. And resetting if you completely screw it up. Firmware version D20, apparently. MMO 2019-925, version 1. Okay, so that's all that. So that's on the main system. Alright, so let's play with these. What does this do? ×2 magnification. Alright. ×4 magnification. Okay, let's get something better there. Is that, yeah, times 4 as high as it will go. Okay. Right. So that's alright. So you have a reasonable working distance under here. That's actually a big enough gap to solder. I could easily solder underneath that. And having a zoom in is quite nice. Can I do 2 clicks to get it quickly? Yes, I can. Excellent. So with this sort of thing, you can actually like inspect the pads maybe. Now, can I tip it enough? Focusing goes off. At that zoom, I don't even see it's going a bit grainy because of the lighting. Because I'll put some more light on there, it should come better. It does. Focusing's pretty rapid, so it's not too bad. It's not too hard to actually set the focus. So if you are trying to inspect things at an angle like this, to see the side of a chip like that, then it's not really that big a deal. You even might zoom across the whole lot and just look at each pin. That seems fine. What you would expect. Okay, and that's at that 4 times, wasn't it? Yeah, that was at 4 times zoom. And having a lower zoom level probably means it's going to be easier to get it focused. So you can see the size of chips and those 3 components there, that sort of stuff. So the quality is actually pretty good. It's got a nice display, it's nice and sharp, at least for me. What you see, you might get I can see a mural pattern on the screen from the video camera playback. So you probably can't see it quite as well as I can. I mean, this is a tiny device, right? This chip can see. If I zoom out somewhere, you'll be able to see. You know, there's my finger. So it's pretty small. What I'm looking at here, and just focus back down again on that. But it's alright. It's actually quite a nice display. Is that some rubbish on there? Look at that. That's something here. What's that? What's that there? What's that? Bit of gunk or something on there. Let's put it off my desk. Or is it a silk screen marking? No, no, something there. Definitely something there. It moved. Yeah, curious. I don't think it's anything matters, but I think a bit of plastic or something. Put it off my desk. My desk is a bit dirty. Don't look at the desk. And obviously I'll do that. I'll try and take a picture, but I've got no SD card, so nope. That's quite nice. So what else can I say about this thing? Well, simple to put together. It's not exactly much trouble at all to do that. It feels like a quality unit, mostly. I think the thing that only feels a bit chintzy to me is just this back assembly here. Being all plastic, and I'm not quite sure the stories with this part, with being a bit of play in there. This bit just feels a bit cheap to me. It's obviously adequate, it's obviously focusing nicely and doing all the things it needs to do, which is better than some of the other units I've tried in the past. As far as that goes, I'm not actually too worried. I mean, it's easy to focus. It's fine, I think, in that regard. So let's go down low with this thing. I haven't done that, have I? I haven't gone down low. Take it right there. See how low we can go with the focusing. Said 6 centimeters in the spec. Okay, I've run out of focus range there, so now I have to go up slightly. And here we go. So that's on no magnification, well, no zoom setting. Alright, so that's pretty close. So let's zoom in on that. Oh, sorry, that's 4 times zoom there, wasn't it? So I must have had 2 times zoom set. But there's a through hole, right? And these are small through holes too. These aren't 0.1 inch, these are much less than that. I think they're 1 mil pitch, whatever that works out as. So yeah, that's pretty small stuff. Yeah, it was on 2 times zoom there. There we go. That's that. That's the natural zoom without any magnification on. Even that alone, like that, it's fine. You don't actually need to do much with that. So can I actually get closer now? I've taken that magnification off. Not really. That's alright. That's certainly very usable. So if I get my soldering iron, which is currently turned off because I don't want to melt anything, if I were to solder under here, then yep, you could definitely do that quite easily. Even with that lowest range setting, I could solder under that quite easily. I could solder under there. Let's look at something else. So this is a MacBook logic board. Now, because of the depth from the head here to the stand on the back, you can't go too big. Like this particular logic board here, I can only go back about halfway on the logic board to get it onto this plate. So it's a shame it's not like more of a distance on that. So then you can actually use it for bigger boards quite easily. That's perfectly usable for that too. You could easily do this work on this. That's obviously logic board size to be a problem with it. Of course, in this case, let's see if I can get to the same point in the board. Right, so I've got this large pad here, which is unused capacitor, well, unpopulated capacitor I should say. Spin it around. Can I get to the same point on the board? Yes, I can. So you could just about do a MacBook Logic board with this thing. You could just cover the whole board with that magnifier, so that's alright. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could always make another stand or something. Or maybe mount it on a shelf or something, or make a different stand, angle it back so you can slide it underneath it. I don't know. You've got different options. Yeah, I'm just making suggestions here. Now this stand as well does tip as well, so let's have a look at that. So it does actually tip, apparently. It can tip, but this is a bit tight, so I can't tip it. But if that was a bit looser on that hinge there, you could actually tip the stand backwards and forwards. Power here, what does that do? So that will turn it off. You have to hold it. Turn it on. Yep. So that's doing the same thing as this. Okay, so if I push this button here, but here, if I push this one, it's immediate. I don't have to hold the button down. If I just push it again, it'll turn it back on. So it boots up pretty quick. It's not bad at all. And I like the way it's just ready to go. Turns the lights off, everything. You don't have to be messing around. Just one button, done. So that's actually quite a nice feature. I quite like that. So this is quite a nice little compact unit. And this sort of thing you could sort of stick on your desk and pocket to one side and drag it out when you want to use it. And I do like the lighting on here. You know, the way you can adjust these lights and change, you know, the views you're going to get on the various components. At different angles on lighting, see joints. Sometimes a lot better by having angled light like that. And the shadows can tell you a lot. You can see a cracked joint quite easily. I mean, you look at that one there and go, is that joint there? We'll find it right there. Is that joint there a little bit dodgy? It looks like it might be cracked. You know, you have to wonder. So as far as these LED lamps here, these are actually getting pretty hot. They're on the verge of being a bit uncomfortable to hold. It's getting up there. So the temperature on those is quite high. It's quite surprising actually. Actually, how much current is this thing drawing? So look. So with them all the way up, that's drawing 1.1 amps out of my power supply over there. And let's turn them down a bit. So at the lowest setting is 0.6 amps. If you really didn't want to use them at all, you can always unplug it I suppose. Since you can't actually turn them off, let's just do that. And that's drawing about 0.4 to 0.5 amps. Let's look at my actual popper meter here. Got it tucked away. Yeah, 400 milliamps it's drawing right now. Unfortunately you guys can't quite see, it's in the background there. That's not too bad, I suppose. So you could actually run this off your computer, plug that in, because you can drive 500 milliamps from your computer. It's drawing 400 like this. If I turn the LED up on this actually, what does that do? That's the neck lighting all the way up. That's doing 411 milliamps. So you could run this off a computer. It could be even better. Just a shame it doesn't have a USB output for the video, because that would be really nice. So I've just unplugged the USB from the screen itself. Obviously got power on and off of this as well. I just want to see if it retains a date on a display. It's been off now for about a minute or so, roundabouts, maybe a bit less. Just plug the USB back in and see if it retains a date. It does. So the clock is still working, so I must have a internal clock there which is running. So it shouldn't lose it straight away. I guess I'll see in time how that goes, how long it stays for. It might just be a capacitor or something, supercap, quite entirely like all it is. Okay, so my opinion of this. Well, thank you Andonstar for sending this to me for free. No charge, as I said. I think I said it. Full review, obviously. My opinion of this, unbiased, because I do like to try and give an honest opinion about things as I find them at the time I'm doing a review. It's nice. Beautiful display. The display is really nice. It actually looks much better in person than it does on this camera here. I'll try and zoom in more, maybe I can get a better view on it, I'm not sure. That'll give you an idea of how clear it is. It gives you an idea, I suppose. There's still, I can still see some Muir pattern on there. Muir, I don't know. Muir, how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see that's a pretty good quality picture. It looks much better to me than it does on camera. I'm certainly very happy. You can look at the picture quality there, you can see just by turning the thing around, the viewing angles are excellent. Good display. What else we got? Simple interface, easy to use interface. I mean, I looked at the instructions, you just saw me look at them, but I haven't read them. So it's very easy to get started with. Not too hard at all to do that. It works well. The lightning stalks here, they're good. You know, they certainly make this IC number stand out like anything. You know, it's just where it is. I can see this again better than you can on camera here because of my lighting drowning things out a bit, makes it look worse on camera. Base is really sturdy. The stalk on the back for the magnifier section and the focus ring feels a bit chintzy, but I think it's okay. It just doesn't have the high quality feel you'd expect from something high end. But this isn't high end, this is sort of middle of the road there. It's better than a lot of things, but it's not as good as some of the really high-end stuff. But I think it's a really good one to actually consider getting. Now, I've done a review previously on the Mustool G600 and also on the Eakins microscope as well, which I forget the model number of now. Autofocus microscope, which is my big one, which I use for doing Macbook stuff, because that's autofocus and all sorts of flashy things, and that's a really high quality, high resolution picture. It's got HDMI output, but that's an expensive microscope. Okay, that was hundreds of dollars, many hundreds. Whereas this, I think, is about $150 or something like that. So it's about around 3 times the price of the Mustool G600. However, picture quality leaves it for dead. Right, on the Mustool, the screen's okay, it's viewable, but it's nowhere near as clear as this one. This is a beautiful display, and this is what I think makes all the difference. I also think that Mustool isn't actually a HD camera. That claims to be, but I don't think it really is. Whereas this one, I believe, actually is. It says it's got a 2 megapixel camera in it. So, and based on the screen quality and the sharpness of it all and everything like that, I keep nudging it and moving it around. I should really do this screws up. It's a bit better, isn't it? Yes, this is a really nice unit. Is it worth the money compared to the Mustool? Yes. Is it better than buying an Eakins? Depends. If your budget was stretched for an Eakins and you can have the bench space because the thing's pretty big, you got the big base stand, you know, it's like 3 or 4 times the size of this one. It's a bit awkward. This is a nice compact unit you can chuck on the side of your desk and drag it out as you need it. You know, if you want to do some small soldering, you know, little bits and pieces like this from time to time, I think it'd be great for that. The Eakins is much more adjustable and that sort of stuff. The Mustool is nowhere near the same level as this, so you know, that's my comparisons I've got. Those are the 3 microscopes I have. This is certainly between the Mustool and the Eakins. It's closer to the Eakins side than the Mustool side. I'll put it that way. So for the price, I think it's a pretty good. So one feature this has got, which I should probably show you, it's in here somewhere. I think it's this button. We'll find out. It's like right now this chip's upside down. Now I can read this upside down, but some people can't read upside down. If you can't, then you can push the button on here. Oh, there we go. This button here, which isn't marked. Image rotate. You can see here it's now the right way up. It will flip the image for you. So there's the original image, and there's now the other way. So you don't have to turn the whole board around in order to see it. But obviously, if you've got it upside down, when you move it towards you, it's going to move away from you and that sort of stuff. It's going to mess with your head somewhat. That's confusing, but yeah, it's handy if you want to check something out which is upside down. You want to quickly flip it over. So that's a feature it's got. Brightness and contrast settings. What do these other ones do? Sharpness. That's there. What's this do? Black and white. Okay. I want to take colour away. Normal. We also got black and white normal. Okay. So switches colour to black and white if you want to. Modes. What does that do? SD card not installed. I guess it might be for photo or video, I'm guessing, actually. Cold. What does that do? Unfortunately, my lighting's causing havoc with this. Image still. You guys popped up over here. Is that freezing? Ah, freezing. Okay, now it makes sense, doesn't it? It's a freezing symbol. You got image still. There you go. I'm going to take it away now, and it all retains the image. Okay. Yeah, NTC, well NTL has got NTL and power. I'm not quite sure what NTL is supposed to mean. I guess it's supposed to be NTSC or something like that. I don't know. The remote control, not happy with that. It's a bit flaky. Maybe it's just because of my lighting. Maybe there's an issue with the sensor not lining up. I don't know. I mean, can I do it from further away? Trying different angles from different places? Nah. I'm not impressed with the remote control part. It's a shame because it would be a really nice feature if it worked reliably with all this lighting I've got here. That would be nice if that actually worked nicely. No, just use the buttons on here, it's just easier. It's a shame because that would actually be a really good bonus feature. If it you know, it may work for you. It's fine if you've got different lighting set up for me. It could be my lights putting low infrared out because I've got 95 CRI lights, something like plus, or at least 95. So yeah, it's got a remote, but for me it's not working very well. The other review video I saw with someone which had one of these with the remote control, theirs seemed absolutely fine. So maybe it's something weird with my particular setup I've got here. Make sure you check out the links down below. I'll chuck down for this thing. I don't know which sites links they were over there. There might be AliExpress, I can't remember offhand. I have to go and check the email and stuff, but check out the links down below for this if you're interested in have a look and see if it's something you're interested in buying. This is the AD207 is the model number of this one. So I do have other models which have got different capabilities and different prices. Some cheaper, some more expensive. I reckon you should go and take a look. You know, if you're in the market for a microscope, this is certainly well worth considering. If your budget's really tight, then the Mustool G600 is there, but I'd say pay a bit extra, pay a bit more, and get this, because the quality difference is substantial. Thank you Andonstar for sending this to me for free, much appreciated, and hope you enjoyed the review. Make sure you chuck down comments down below if you've got one of these things, what you think about the quality. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's alright. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, click the bell icon, all that sort of stuff. I always do it at the end, I should do it at the beginning. Click the bell icon, and thanks for watching this far, because it helps my channel if you do that. Catch you later. Bye. Any questions, put them down below.